That's so pretty. Got anything to say? Oh, you answering, Bert? Yes, I bet you know God better than some of these humans. Don't mean to offend nobody right now. But that's how it is. I feel. No, but sometimes I feel hurt because I'm at work and a lot of people like pagan and everything and they just don't know. Like I had one girl, I like her. She I'm not gonna reveal no names or anything, but she was like, I believe that I don't believe in anything specific. You know, I grew up believing Jesus Christ. How did she put it? I went to a Baptist, church. And so being my workplace, I can't minister like that, because we could get fired. But I'm telling you, if I'm outside of work, it's gonna be a different story. But I told her something. I told her like to be careful because it's like in the churches now these days, it's not a lot of power. We say God and Jesus. Even Jesus was like, they're gonna say, Lord, Lord, haven't I, prophesy and all these other stuff and all these wonderful gifts and healing and all that. And he's like, I never knew you. What is I never knew you? That's that relationship, that power of the Holy Spirit. And unfortunately, not all, but a lot of churches don't have that power. We're literally like those churches in the Bible and see, not only just trying to see, I mean, we do need to see what churches we are in, but even ourselves, because we could replicate, because we are the church. And a lot of churches, I finally figure out, they're neither one of those churches in the book of Revelation. And what hurts me is she was like, I believe there's many ways to God, and that's the deception. And I felt really, really horrible and bad, because at the same time, you're not trying to offend nobody, but because her mind will be blocked anyways. I already know that because she's seared. So, but if there's a person that the Holy Spirit like, oh yes, they need to have more education of the Bible, then I believe later on. But now her mind is just seared because she don't see no power. And of course, like her daddy didn't want her mom, I'm assuming that they'll say they're Christian. And so she's dealing with a lot of rejection. And I told her I've been through rejection too. And I always talk about the joy of the Lord, little seeds. And for what I want to discuss with y'all today is sometimes we feel like we got to preach to someone all the time. Sometimes it's little seeds at a time. I told her the revelation about my God ordained husband, that he's far away. And she already know I'm a spiritual person, that everything is just all about God. And I let her know that I didn't try to come down with the hammer. She's not ready for that. That's why we got to go in things under the Holy Spirit, because you could push people away, believe it or not, from God even more, and then you'll look like that fanatical Christian that they're not ready yet. Yes, I do believe we need to be fanatical. That's the problem. A lot of us are too lukewarm, but you got to know when to apply boldness and be soft and delicate. Yeah.
And a lot of times the Lord been showing me, he's like, some things are not for certain people. So it's a time for certain people to get revelation revealed to them. And there's a time for you to just pray so that their mind could be open to the revelation because you can tell them the revelation and they will never get it. So you have to be very careful who you're actually giving those pearls and those wisdom to.
Amen.
Because at that time, because they have to be ready for that wisdom. They have to be ready for the understanding. They have to be ready for that knowledge. A lot of times in our walk, we ask Jesus for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, all these things. But are we ready for it? Because God is going to give it to us to a point that is going to stir up our soul. It's going to just, like, basically you have to share it, And a lot of times we just want a portion, like knowledge. A lot of us, we love knowledge. We love that. But we don't want the understanding. We don't want the wisdom.
It comes with a hand in hand.
So in our mind, it's like, Lord, I just want this. This is what I want. It's just like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We sometimes will skip breakfast, the main course. Like, that's the main. So the Holy Spirit is saying, okay, you skip breakfast, you jump to lunch, thinking now I can make up for what I didn't. You can't do that. You have to. It's in a routine. Breakfast is so important. So the Holy Spirit is so important. Wisdom is so important. Yes, knowledge is important too. But if you don't have the wisdom, the knowledge, understanding, all three course, then you don't have nothing.
Yeah.
So you have to get to a point in your life. Am I doing this just because I know I have all this knowledge and I'm sharing this with my brother and sister? Is it going to edify them? Is it going to make them be a better person, or is it going to turn out into fear? Because we don't want to turn that into that. So we have to be led
Or even discuss.
right. We have to be led by the Holy Spirit to do anything when it comes to, so like she said, the smallest seed, the smallest. You don't have to go full attack mode.
And you know what scripture's popping in my head? Don't be so is it heavenly or spiritually minded? Don't be so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good. And I think for times like that, some people just need those seeds. And sometimes when even you're speaking to your children or whoever, it could be anybody, you'll be like, they don't get it. But you got to understand, later on, they'll pull back them seeds in the past. And that has happened to me. Like, even my friend here speaking to me, that when I once wasn't saved, she would be like, she would tell me a lot of spiritual things that I'm gonna go into later, and that I was like, I couldn't even contain all that. But I wasn't mad at her or nothing. It wasn't like that. I was ready to hear it, but it was just that I didn't understand it. So when understanding came, I was like, dang, my friend was right all along to give me those seeds. And then I took it, and I grew, and I sprouted up. So yeah.
Right. And at that time, like she's saying, when I'm giving her those things, I wasn't fully into the Holy Spirit like I am now. So now I could be able to share and the funny thing is, we growing together, like spiritually now. We are really getting to the spiritual things, because religious had me for a while. So when you're religious, you're going to try to push things on people without the Holy Spirit consent. So you have to be very careful, because in your mind, well, I want my friend to be saved. I don't want her to go to hell. Yes, that's true. But when you're religious, that is all you thinking of. Oh, she needs to just stop it. But no, she has to be converted.
Yeah.
She has to.
Because you throw so much word, but where there's only so much word you can contain at your level. And then you get more word as you press deeper into God, the more word you will come to you. So that's what I'm learning with with my walk of God, and I hope somebody get blessed out there with this. All right, thanks for watching us.